Welcome back to Diecast Resurrection. Today we're working on this little beauty. Here we have a Matchbox Off-road van, SWAT edition, Unit 5. 4x4 Chevy van. Today I wanted to do kind of a 70s style paint job on this thing. You know, the kind that have like the big stripes down the side of various shades. It's gonna be a lot of taping, a lot of masking, a lot of painting. But we're definitely, we're gonna get away from this SWAT theme and we're gonna try to get a little bit more like boogie van theme. How's that sound? I think it's gonna be cool. So let's get going. I got this thing pre-drilled. Careful, careful. Right, I forgot I took this apart. This little bar holds those wheels down there. And now the wheels work. So that just wasn't connected. No problemo. We're going to be painting all this stuff with Quicksilver to get it looking a little bit more metal instead of this flat gray plastic, because we need our van to be metal. Blue glass was kind of a bummer for this project, but that's okay. I'm going to go with blue colors on the paint, specifically just to try to make it match a little bit better. I really want to do a mural van, you know, like a Conan or some sort of bikini clad damsel in distress or something on the side. I looked for a couple hours yesterday and I just could not find exactly what I needed to make it work. Now that we have the vinyl cutter, I can do just about anything on the side of here. I just couldn't find a nice high-res photograph of a van directly from the side. Every single one was kind of show parked, all the cool ones. The angles were just wrong. But we are going to do one. I think I could pull it off now to the point where it would just look perfect. So that's going to be coming up. I don't know when, but it's on my to-do list. There's one. There's two. Release the meteor. I like this little factory arrow they got on there for the guy who's doing the assembly. The angled side goes to the front. Beautiful. So we gotta strip this thing down. I can tell it's gonna need a bunch of filing. This thing's kind of beat up. It's done some bumper cars. This is my new paint stripper. This stuff is called Quick Strip. Quick Strip. Quick Strip with a K. This is supposedly the same stuff as I was using before, but it's a different brand of the old methylene chloride based paint stripper. This is a Napa product. I don't know if that's probably not available in the States anymore since that main ingredient is banned in the US of A, so I don't know what you guys are gonna do. Eek. Eek. There we go. I'm just going to go ahead and drop this in there and we're just going to forget about it for a few minutes. Is it doing anything? I think I can see the paint lifting already. Oh hell yeah, this stuff works real good. Had a little bit of trouble stripping that corgi though. That stuff must have like lead-based paint or something. It's crazy. I need a little help with this one, guys. This is what I wanted to work on today, but I just could not come up with an idea. Right off the bat, what does this look like? When I first saw these fenders, the way they're kind of rounded up like that, my first instinct was like, that's some sort of javelin, right? Looking at this, I'm like, oh, hell yeah, it's a weird javelin wagon. Actually, this is made by Matchbox. It's a super fast Vantastic is what they call this thing. And believe it or not, it's a Mustang. Once I saw the grill, I was like, okay, yeah, maybe it is a Mustang. And then the taillights also speak Mustang to me. So you guys gotta help me out on this one, because I don't know. I want to work on it, but what do you do with it? Park that in front of Jimmy's trailer for now. You guys you think about that while we're working here. So we just left this in there for a few minutes. Hardly even a few minutes, and as you can see, this stuff is 100% donezo. So I'm going to rate my new paint stripper here 2 thumbs up. This stuff is a lot more nasty than my old stuff. Like this will just deform nitrile gloves. So this is some real nasty stuff. Look what it just did to the paint on my tweezers here. Just stripped them clean. Oh my goodness. Now they're for precision stuff. Wow, that paint stripper was no joke. Alright, I've got all the flashing cleaned up, so that's looking real good. We'll just finish prepping with this Scotch-Brite, and then we can get into the booth and we'll lay down their silver sealer. Alright, custom van time, my favorite. Gonna be something like that. I'll take that down right to the top of the fender here. Something like that. So basically, what's going to happen is I'm going to be taping the same pattern off 2 more times. And so we're going to start with the dark blue, and then we'll go to a lighter shade, and then a lighter shade, and then a silver. And we should have a pretty cool looking van at the end of things. I think we're going to use midnight blue, so let me mix up some of this. So we'll head to the spray booth and we'll give it a first coat. This is going to be our darkest layer. I'm a little bit worried about this. I don't know if you guys could tell in the spray booth. There was a couple coats on there that went on pretty wet. And I know some of this paint's getting pretty old. Probably coming up on 3 years now. And my first coat went on kind of spotty. And to me, I'm like, the Createx kind of goes spotty. I know it's a little bit too thin. So I added some extra balancing clear to kind of thicken it up. And then all of a sudden it was going on real wet. So hopefully I don't have any bleeding under the tape. Those lines look nice and crispy. A lot of my videos here are shot very early in the morning. Like right now it's 6:30, so I've only had half of my morning coffee, and a lot of times that's when mistakes can happen. Not saying I made a mistake, I'm just saying. Well, that front curve turned out nice. I don't know if I told you guys how I did that, but I used a vinyl circle just to start that curve. So my plan is to back all the taping up a little bit to do our second color. So it'll be a similar pattern to what we just had, but I'm going to leave this candy exposed. So I'm going to do the next layer plus add more to this layer at the same time because it's candy, so I can kind of control it. You'll see what I mean. That's a good start. So let's clamp it back into the stand. This blue that I have on here, I kind of wanted it to be almost a black at the end before the clear coat. It'll look pretty dark, but there's going to be blue here, a little pinstripe of blue here, and then a kind of a pinstripe of blue running all the way up and over the hood to the other side. Alright, so I'm going to go do our next layer now, and I plan for this next one to be about half as dark as this one. So that's the plan. Hopefully I can pull it off. This one is going to get darker. That's okay. Not worried about it. Let's go. Right, that went okay. I don't know if you guys noticed the spray pattern. As soon as that blue hit the tape, it almost looked like it beat it up a little bit. I don't know if that stood out to anybody in the video, but that doesn't normally happen with these candy paints. So I do have a suspicion that my bottle is a little bit old. So I have another one that I can try, and we'll see if that looks better. That's going to be a real problem when we come to our lightest coats. If it comes out all blotchy like that, it's not going to look good. I need my paint to really atomize perfectly to get that nice light blue coat we're going to be looking for at the end here. So we'll do a little experiment and I'll try use some new stuff and see what happens. Alright, that's looking pretty good. I got our tape off, so we're good to go on one more layer. Just like our last layer, I'm going to start with the little circles I've been using to do that this part right here. I've been ever so slightly backing them up each time. I know it blends right in with that gray, but yeah, man. This is what my circle sheet looks like. You need a vinyl cutter to make sheets like this. Nobody sells anything like this, so you kind of got to make your own unless you know somebody with a vinyl cutter. Someone could probably make some money selling these things. I don't know if it's going to be me, but somebody could make some money. I'm going to go a little bit thicker with this one, I think. Get some nice color going here. Hey-yo. That should look cool. I'll do a nice light blue this time because this one's fairly close to this, but once the clear coat's on there, it should really bring the color out a little bit more. So I'll make sure to go extra light on this one just so we got a good thing going on. So maybe since you guys have seen me do this a few times now, maybe I'll just go ahead and get this all masked up and ready to go. And then I'll just meet you in the spray booth for this last color. How's that sound? Give me a couple seconds to get this ready. Alright, I sprayed our last coat. That looks pretty good. A little bit disappointed how dark this middle one got. You can still see it, but it's still pretty dark. I wasn't planning on going that dark with it. It just kind of happened. That's still cool, man. Look at that thing. I gotta try to tape off some decent taillights. The taillights are usually ruined by flashing on these. I don't know if you can see it. It's just the flashing ends up right on top of that taillight every time. Pimp. I still think it's going to look good once we get some clear coat on it. So why don't we get this up on the stand here and we'll mask out these taillights and I'll go spray those with a little bit of red. I'm going to take another shot at doing these kind of graphics, maybe with some more colors. I mentioned my old man did a van, did a 79 Ford Econoline. He did all kinds of cool 70s stripes on the side of that thing too. That was cool. Growing up, I don't remember how old I was. One Christmas, my parents were probably getting fed up with us finding the gifts, you know, because that's what kids do. They look for the gifts. And me and my sisters, we couldn't find it anywhere. Couldn't find any presents anywhere in the house at all. So eventually, my old man's project van was just sitting in the garage, not doing anything. And it was locked. And I was like, why is it locked? That's weird. I used to, you know, as a kid, you'd jump in the driver's seat and you'd pretend you're driving it and stuff. That thing had a walnut steering wheel with like the chrome, you know, with the holes in it. So getting back to the story, I was suspicious because I'm like, why is it locked? That's weird. Maybe the presents are in there. So they thought this thing was totally secure, but Dad was in the middle of replacing one of these vents. And so I climbed up the side of the van and went in through the top. So I was young enough to fit through a standard vent, so I must have been pretty young still. No way I could do that now, but sure enough, we got in there, presents galore, and I was like reporting to my sisters, like, somebody got a Walkman, somebody got a, you know, an easy bake oven, somebody got this, and it was a good time. I remember, that was a fond memory right there. I don't know if I even ever told my parents that we climbed in the van. Pretty funny though. You gotta always protect your McNuggets. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and go give these little taillights a spray with this, a BRB. My Mollentow pen is very old and it's been getting kind of crusty, I've noticed over the years. But I do have this. This is a refill for the pens. Boy, there's a ton of juice in there, boy. So I've never refilled one of these before, but I bought this back in the day because I knew I would need it eventually. So I think you just kind of... I don't know what you do here. Clearly not that. We pull this out. Ah, yeah, she's almost empty. Excellent. So now we can just squirt some sauce in there. Hell yeah. Now we got fresh juice. Perfect. And we'll just thread this in. So I want to replenish this tip now, so maybe we'll just use one of these old plastic cups. Oh, there we go. Get some of that fresh stuff in there. Boy, that's definitely the good stuff now. That's some fresh Mollentow. Nothing like milk straight from the spittle, you know what I mean? That's way better than trying to spray that. So this is looking real good. I think that Mollentow pen did an amazing job. So I'm going to go put this in the oven, get this curing. While I'm in there, I'm going to go ahead and clear coat our body. I think the last thing we got to do is just clean up the glass here a little bit. And then we can do a final assembly once everything's dry. So that sounds good. Back to the spray booth one more time. Alright, I just checked the paint oven and this stuff's all dry. So I think we're about ready to do an assembly here. But that stuff looks good, eh? This Malintow pan takes hours to dry on its own, but a little bit of heat. I was using, I think, 30 Celsius for about an hour, and it's dry to the touch. So I'm just ready to do an assembly, and then we'll roll this thing out and have a look at it. Okay, give me a few seconds here. Hell yeah, man, it's looking sweet. Let's get this up on the rotisseries. Now here's our Chevy van. I think she's looking pretty good. I'm a little bummed out that that second color didn't show off better, but it's still pretty good. It's just it's a good little practice run. I still like the way it turned out though. So I think she looks pretty good. The chrome pipes on the side. These wheels are off of a more modern Matchbox. You guys might recognize them. I like the bead locks on them and stuff, so it fits on these old vans perfectly. These are what the factory wheels would have looked like, if you remember this other Matchbox van here. Hell yeah, man. Any day we work on a van is a good day. I have another van I want to work on too. It might be the next video. I'm not sure. Maybe we'll just do a van week. I saw a real cool paint job on a Dodge A100 on Instagram, and I thought, you know, I've got a Dodge A100, maybe we'll do that one. So that could be the next video, I'm not sure. But either way, we'll keep in touch. I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Namaste. Namaste. Thank you to my Patreon subscribers. You guys are awesome, helping me pay some bills. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and I will see you in the next one.